this is welcome news, but it did come too late.
Yeah, I'm very pleased that the government have stepped in and stripped Bradford Council of its children's services. Bradford Council have been deemed unfit to run children's services, and we will now have a new trust structure set up, which will be definitely a step in the right direction to be able to provide that reassurance to the many vulnerable children, not only in Keighley but right across the Bradford district, that we will now be starting to put measures in place to protect them.
And in Bradford specifically, there seem to have been a number of problems dating back not just months, but years. Why has it taken to this point that children's services are finally being released? Well,
children's services were rated inadequate and in need of severe improvement way back in 2018. And in July of last year, there was a very lightweight 50-page review that looked at child sexual exploitation across the Bradford district, but concluded that there had been multi-agency failings, of which Bradford Council's children's services had been a failing part of providing protection for young children across Keighley and the Bradford district. And then, of course, as you said in the report, we had the Star Hobson case where, 5 separate occasions, referrals and concerns had been made by family members and friends of Star Hobson, and yet Bradford Council's Children's Services did nothing and closed the case. So I'm very pleased that the government have now stepped in and will be setting up this trust structure going forward.
What's behind this sort of failure? Is this just people being lazy? Is there something institutionally a problem in Bradford Council? Why is this council in particular having so many issues?
Well, I have deep concerns and I have no confidence at all in its current leadership. I think the Chief Executive and the leader of Bradford Council need to resign. The Chief Executive has been in a position of control since 2015, propped up by the leader of the council since 2016, and the leader of the council should be holding the Chief Executive to account. But yet these failures have happened consecutively since Ofsted did their review in 2018. So I think that there is a lack of proper leadership, lack of strategy, issues with culture within Bradford Councils together, and also a lack of cohesion and dysfunctionality between the Children's Services Department and the core management team at an executive level within Bradford Council Services.
Now, you've been saying this for quite some time. Is it not fair to say that the government has been a lot slower than some campaigners on the ground in terms of recognising this issue?
Well, I mean, I've obviously been advocating that real changes need to happen since becoming the MP for Keighley, which has now just been 2 years. But the government, quite rightly, have stepped in and will be setting this trust structure up. I welcome the fact that Bradford Council are working and willing to work with the government. They've obviously recognised their failings. And it is right that we will now be getting proper improvement measures put in place going forward, because it's the right thing to do for protecting young children across the Bradford district.
Now, I can't have you on the programme this week without asking about, of course, the big political story of not just this week, but last week and, in fact, the year. Have you submitted a letter into Sir Graham Brady?
I have not submitted a letter, and I think it's absolutely right that we wait for the Sue Gray report to come out.
And when do you expect that to be? We're hearing that it could be this afternoon, it could be tomorrow morning. Is that when you think the bulk of your colleagues will make their decisions?
Well, I think a lot of colleagues are waiting for the Sue Gray report to come out, and it looks as if that may come out today, but we'll just have to wait and see.